Arcade Perfect, my Arse. Okay guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect My Arse. This week we're taking a look at Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, released by Atari. And that is very distinctive Atari sound back in the 80s. I don't know what kind of sound chip they used, but it was very distinctive. 720, Super Sprint, all these games utilise the same sound. So you've got different levels you can pick here. Let's go for easy. I think APB as well, that was another one that used that same sound. Not a game that I've ever actually played in arcades, never saw it at all. You've got to try and free captives to defeat Mularam. Rescue the children. I've got absolutely no idea what the speech is actually saying, but it's quite atmospheric. And you can whip the snakes for bonus points. I've got two children still to rescue. Let's just make good our escape if we can. And this is obviously one of the famous scenes at the film. Pulling down makes you go faster. Whoa. Graphics are really nice, so really super detailed, really colourful as well. Oops, a daisy, you don't want to do that. You can whip the skulls for bonus points as well. I don't know if you can actually kill him, I don't think you can. No. So I'm assuming I want to go around and get that jewel thing. Ah, bollocks. Sankara. Oh, you have recovered the first Sankara stone. Right, okay, right, now we've got 8 children to try and rescue. Graphics are super detailed though. The funny thing was, I was never a big fan of the graphics back in the day, but looking at it now I can appreciate just how good it looked. Yeah, the speech doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does add to the atmosphere. So anyway, last than that is the arcade one. Let's take a look at some home versions. Right, kick things off in home front. This is the Commodore Amiga one. Now this was the one I played back in 1986, 1987. No, I'm talking about 1986. I didn't get my Amiga until about 1989, so... The scrolling's not what you'd expect from the Amiga one. Whoa! Yeah, the Commodore Amiga is definitely capable of silky smooth scrolling, so I'm not quite sure. Whoa, bloody hell! I noticed there's a slight bit of inertia, there's a slight kind of delay, and when you stop moving the joystick, it actually keeps walking for a second, which is a wee bit annoying. That's my excuse, honest gov. Graphically, I think they probably could have done a bit better. I mean, the actual graphics, I suppose, for the... Yeah, I suppose the graphics themselves are alright, but they're not particularly smooth looking. And that wee panel at the right hand side, that looks like something out of Spectrum, not a Commodore Amiga. What the hell's that? Looks like the bloody Starship Enterprise. Not a bat. Right, why is that not letting me whip the child? Come on. Alright, okay, he's got a wee crown on. Avoid the fireball. Right, you've got to be perfectly lined up to release the children, it would appear. Come on! Whoa! Certain death. Just notice that Indiana Jones hasn't actually got a face. And if you look under the score, he's got wee eyes and face, so I don't know why, eyes and mouth and nose, I don't know why they couldn't put that on the sprite. Come on, I was hitting that. Yeah, it looks like you've got to kind of line yourself up, whereas you don't kind of get that problem in the arcade one. Avoid the strange bat which can only fly diagonally, it appears. Oh, it looks like I can also float. Yeah, it's slightly... It's not the greatest. It kind of reeks of a game that's been rushed out, probably for the Christmas audience, something like that. There again, when you think about it, it's an Atari game. This came out round about the peak of Atari ST, so they're probably not going to want him to make the Amiga one the best version. But we shall see when it comes to looking at the Atari ST one. Yeah, that's a Commodore Amiga one. Could be a lot better, I think. Right, this is the Spectrum one, which you can probably tell. Let's go for 3 Kempston. Right, begin your quest, okay. Typical Spectrum, it's completely monochrome. But you know what, it's actually really responsive compared to the one I've just played, the Commodore Amiga one, which is quite kind of... Well, you've got rather large-headed children. Yeah, the Commodore Amiga one was a wee bit sluggish, but this is actually really sort of snappy. Yeah, freaky looking kids with huge heads. Now, I'm assuming 8 bits are all going to be multi-load. I think they would be. Now, instead of thuggy guards, they actually look like wee guys with tracksuits on. It looks like they could be straight out of Match Day 2. Got to say, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And at least he's got a face in this version as well. But when you look at the sort of the backgrounds, it should be a mess because it's all the one colour. Well, it's 2 colours, it's black and white, but actually you can see exactly what you're doing. So I think this is quite a good version. Obviously sound lacks slightly. Let's go for another quick go. Now you'll notice when you whip the thuggy guards, they don't actually die. They just you stun them. Yeah, freaky looking kids with huge big heads. Well, if you repeatedly whip them, they do eventually fall off the cliff, it would appear. Ah, didn't see him? Bloody hell. Ah, okay, go at him, away you go. Quite a small screen you can see there. There's quite a bit of the sort of screen taken up just with the title and the sort of the score bit at the side, but they've obviously done that to kind of try and keep the speed of the game up. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is a Spectrum one. Right, this is the Apple II. Yep, I was as surprised as you are to actually realise there's a version of this. I thought the Apple II had long since died at that point, but obviously not. Right, come on, how do we start it? Just notice the font of the Apple II is almost identical to the Commodore 64. Right, come on, start. I might have to change that. Come on, right, fire this time, let's go. Hey. Ooh. Actually, if I didn't know differently, I'd probably thought this was the Commodore 64 one. It does kind of look like Commodore 64 graphics. But interesting to know, actually, does anybody actually know, was the Commodore 64 and the Apple II based in the same chipset? Possibly? I don't know. Yeah, the sprites are a wee bit kind of quite similar. I mean, they're quite detailed looking, but they're sort of similar kind of, I don't know, the colour of the badges are similar kind of palette to Indiana. I mean, you consider how old Apple II is, it's actually quite a good conversion. The Apple II wasn't a computer that really sold in the UK that I'm aware of. I mean, it was the first computer I actually got to use at school, but I think they're way too expensive. Probably like any Apple product, it was probably out the price range of most parents, I would think. Right, come on, let's get down on this wee platform thing. I didn't remember seeing that in the arcade version. Scrolling's not the greatest. You can see the game does kind of speed up a wee bit when there's less stuff on the screen. It's all a wee bit, some of the graphics are a wee bit messy looking. But anyway, that is Apple II one. Right, this is the Atari ST. So it'll be interesting just to sort of see how this one compares with the Amiga one. At least it's got a decent whip sound. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this looks pretty much identical to the Amiga one. Because back then, all the original, I mean the Atari ST was out before the Amiga, and a lot of the very early games on the Amiga were just straightforward ports of the Atari ST, which was really annoying for people who had Amigas because they'd spent the extra cash on a superior machine and yet they were just getting straightforward ports. Yeah, it's almost identical to the Commodore Amiga one. I would say if anything this one actually feels a wee bit more responsive. It sort of plays a bit better. I mean the scrolling's not much better than the Amiga one, probably just the same. But this one is a wee bit more responsive. Whoa, run! Ah, bollocks. I just can't seem to get to the top. I think the bit where you ride the car is that it's got a top left, but kind of struggling to find it here. Take that. Ah, bollocks. Anyway, listen, that is the Atari ST one. Right, this one is the Commodore 64 one, which does look very, very similar to the Apple II one, although the graphics do look that bit clearer. Actually quite nice shading on the graphics in this one. What he was doing there. Yeah, you need to keep whipping them to kind of knock them off the edge of the cliff. Well, it's quite amazing though actually when you look at some of these games. I mean, some of these arcade games really shouldn't have been possible on 8-bit machines, and the fact that they even got them running at all is commendable, you know. Yeah, they were multi-load and that kind of stuff, but it's still quite a good achievement. I think it's easy to kind of, you know, understate just what some programmers actually managed to get out of these machines. One small child with hat on. Oh, you've got this little conveyor belt thing. See, I don't ever recall seeing that in an arcade one, ever. Right, okay, here we go. Yeah, that looks very similar to the Apple one. Bollocks! Right, that is the Commodore 64 one. Right, okay, this is the Amstrad one. Ooh dear, he's got a rather dapper blue suit on. It's very orange. Orange and blue and white. Thing is, Amstrad has got a fantastic colour palette, so that it could have probably done a really good version of this. It's got the freaky large high-headed children again. It's all a bit messy looking, there's a bit too much going on here. I say though, the actual 8 bits, although they don't look as nice as the 16 bits, I think they probably play better. You know, they're a bit more responsive, and yeah, the scrolling's maybe not the greatest, but they actually feel better than the 16-bit versions, and that was quite a common thing in the sort of early days of the 16-bit until they kind of got to grips with the hardware. Release the Mutant Child. Anyway, that is the Amstrad CPC 464 version. Right, this is the NES. Now, as usual, the NES always seems to, instead of just doing a straightforward conversion of an arcade game, it always seems to kind of do its own thing. And it looks like this is no different. Kind of based on the same idea. You've got to rescue children and defeat the thuggy guards, I'm guessing, but the levels just look completely different. Also, he seems to swing on an invisible rope as well. I don't know why they couldn't have put a bit of animation in there. Can I get through these doors? I'm not too sure. It's based on an arcade game, but it's really completely different. Oh, what's going on here? Arrows locate hidden warps. Right, come on, how do we start? There we go. Right, okay, so I've changed the perspective of this. Whoa! What on earth? I've got no idea what's happening here. I'm back to this screen again. Swing on the invisible rope. Can't seem to actually do anything. I'm trying to hit these children to release them, but it's not doing anything. And I seem to go round in circles. Nope, can't get in there. It's all a bit messy looking up. Don't do that. Straight into the lava. So I can kind of jump. No, I'm at a complete loss as to what I'm trying to do here. Just see me going round and round in circles. And back to this bit again. Ah, wait a minute, here we go. Right, I can jump off that. Okay, now that's enough of that one. That is the NES. Right, this very last version, guys, this is the PC DOS. Yep, again I was quite surprised to actually see a version of this. Got quite a nice title screen. Now how do we start? Come on, start. Okay, here we go. Right, okay, right, well, straight off the bat I would say this is probably, graphically, this is probably the nicest looking. This is probably the closest to the arcade one, actually. Have we got some sound? It would appear not. And because I'm running this under a DOS emulator thing, I don't want to mess about with it. It appears I've not got... Oh no, I do have sound, there we go. It's just very basic. And we've got a child with a crown on. And surprisingly, the scrolling in this version is actually probably about the best as well that I've seen. Come on, there we go. Oh, void him. That's not a good idea. So anyway, that is the very last version we're going to look at. There's been quite a few 16-bit versions, Atari ST and Commodore Amiga. They were very, very early in the sort of the lifetime of these computers, and the games weren't the greatest. They could have been so much better. The scrolling's not the greatest, which is probably the biggest downer for me with these two versions. All the 8-bit ones are actually pretty good. Amstrad, Spectrum, I really like the Spectrum one. It was really nice and crisp. Yeah, it's black and white, but who cares? C64 one wasn't bad at all. The what do you call it? The NES one does its own thing, as it usually does. I don't know why they always insist on tweaking arcade games on the NES. They always seem to kind of base themselves on the game, but they change level layouts, and you know, don't know why they do that. But I've got to say the surprise winner for me this week has to be the one we're looking at, and that is the PC DOS. It looks really, really nice. It's probably the most authentic looking. The graphics are really nice. I mean, look at the shading on Indiana Jones. All the graphics just look excellent. Really, really sweet version. Didn't expect that at all. I mean, any arcade version I've looked at in the PC's usually been pretty pish. So yeah, I'm going to go for a gold medal. I'm going to go for, let me think. If I'm going to put it into medal places, I'm probably going to go for. I'm not going to differentiate between different systems. I'm going to go for 16-bit as bronze. I'm going to go for the 8-bit, particularly the Spectrum, in silver position, but I'm going to give my gold medal to the PC one. I think it's really, really nice. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. As before, if there's a particular game you would like to see feature in this Arcade Perfect My Arse thing, please put your comments below. And finally, thank you very, very much for watching.